What's up, photography world? Josh Grasso from the Shutter School here with a creativity mindset tip. All right, this is actually a crucial thought process that you need to have in order to succeed. Okay, and this idea is getting over the fear of being bad at something. So don't be afraid to suck. That's what we're going to talk about. I actually needed to hear this today. That's why I thought I would share. Got some experiences that I'm going through here recently that reminded me of this. Okay, so the idea of not being afraid to suck is when you are trying to get good at something new, or you just try any new hobby, you will always be bad at it. Unless you are some crazy prodigy natural, you're going to be bad at everything you try when you first try, right? And for you to go from being good to great, you have to keep at it. That's the most important thing. And so what will happen is two things. You will start with all these big grand expectations, and then you will find out it's way harder than you thought. You look at your work, you think it's terrible, and you give up. Or you will dig in. Maybe you think you're really good at first, and then as you get a little bit better, you start to realize, oh, actually I'm awful, and then maybe you want to give up. So most people suck at things because they don't even try. Okay, you start a little bit, and you quit. For example, not being afraid to suck. Recently, I'm won a few Fearless Awards, which I never thought would be possible. It's so hard. So much respect for all the people that have done so well in there. And I never would have got there if I didn't keep trying to get better. I started trying to win Fearless Awards 5 years ago, didn't win 5 years ago. Okay, it took me until the last 2-3 years before I started actually winning. And as you can see from my very first wedding, I just stumbled upon this going through my archives from 10 years ago. My very first paid wedding. I did a few second shooting gigs before this. Compared to my work now, terrible. All right, if this was your first wedding, you might be proud of it because it's, went from nothing to this, so that's good. But compared to being somebody who wants to be a full-time professional, it's not good enough, right? But I shot that wedding. I was proud of it partly because I didn't know better. But as I dug in and learned from other photographers, I realized, my work is not good enough, right? But I wasn't afraid of sucking. I had this belief in myself that I would be good at photography, and I just stuck with it. So 10 years after trying to be a wedding photographer and sticking with it, I now feel like I'm pretty good, right? Because I wasn't afraid to suck in the beginning. Why it's relevant to me today is I'm starting Shutter School. I actually started Shutter School a year and a half ago. I built a website, recorded a bunch of videos. Didn't want to tell my friends because I figured if it sucked, they would judge me, but I'll just put it up on YouTube, a couple videos. I'll start the website, not tell anybody, and just wait till I'm good before I announce it. And I spent a month doing really good, making stuff, right? And I kind of was like, this stuff stinks. You look at Peter McKinnon's got millions of subscribers. You got other people that are like killing it on YouTube. It's like, I'm not them. So why should I even try? I get like 5 views in a video, right? Why, I'm kind of in this I suck mode because I was a beginner. And I got busy with weddings, kind of let things get by the side. My website got hacked, and I just gave up for a year. Now I'm back at it. And this time, I'm feeling those emotions again of being afraid, right? I don't want to show everybody my website because I haven't combed through it 10 times to make sure there's no errors. I haven't wanted to share all my videos yet because I don't want my friends to see if they're bad, right? But I want to make a bunch of videos. I want to stick at it and keep going because I'm determined to be good. And so I've hit that point where I could quit or I can get better, right? So I'm not afraid to suck anymore. I'm just going to launch. I'm going to make stuff every day. And if my first 10 videos aren't very good, maybe my next 10 will be better. And then the next 10 will be better. And then after 100 videos, all of a sudden I'll be good at this, right? It's about showing up every day, not being afraid of being bad at something. And I won't, who knows, maybe I'm not even going to be that terrible at first. But obviously, if I'm not used to talking to people every day, I'm not used to making videos every day, I can't be amazing at it until I do it. So don't be afraid to suck. This inspiration, I'll leave you with where I got this from. He doesn't phrase it as don't be afraid to suck, but Ira Glass explains his creative process, and he explains the creative process everybody needs to go through. This was the inspiration for the don't be afraid to suck mantra that I've had in my head the last 8 years or whatever, whenever I heard this. I started my business 2013, 14, around there is probably when I heard this because one of my friends who's an artist shared this with me. Anyway, Ira Glass talks about going through the process of being bad at stuff until you're good at it. And so I'll just share a short clip of it. You can search for it if you want to view the full thing.
Nobody tells people who are beginners, and I really wish somebody had told this to me, is that all of us who do creative work, we get into it, and we get into it because we have good taste. But it's like there's a gap, that for the first couple years that you're making stuff, what you're making isn't so good, okay? It's not that great. It's trying to be good. It has ambition to be good, but it's not quite that good. But your taste, the thing that got you into the game, your taste is still killer. And your taste is good enough that you can tell that what you're making is kind of a disappointment to you. You know what I mean? A lot of people never get past that phase. A lot of people at that point, they quit.
Right there. That's it. Right? You get to that point where you have all these beautiful dreams in your head of how great you could be, and then you go out and try to make those things, and they don't live up to your hype, and you quit. All right, so I remember doing this as a wedding photographer. I'd been following all these photographers I admired, been studying. I had images of beautiful bridal portraits, beautiful moments, and I wasn't creating those things. When I edited my work, there was still a gap between what I saw in my mind and what I was able to produce, but I didn't quit, so I got better. And that's going to be the same thing for this channel. This channel, I'm going to make it great because I want to, and I'm not going to quit. And I hope all of you creatives out there that are beginners especially, don't be afraid to quit and get after it. Now, you might say, I'm not a beginner. I'm not afraid of photography anymore. I've been doing it for 10 years. Does that apply to me? Of course, because there's something in your creative universe that you're afraid of. I know a lot of photographers that are amazing that are afraid of flash. Don't be afraid to suck. And so here's my cue to you, and my takeaway is, if there is something you're afraid of and something you're not good at, lean into that. Like me personally, I'm not good at bridal poses as good as I would like to be. And so maybe I need to practice. Maybe I need to make that my effort of not being afraid to really go after better posing. Things like, as an example. And if you feel like you're bad at flash, bring out your flash every day then, because you will get more benefit from taking what you're weak at and what you're afraid of and going after it. You're going to have so much more joy getting better at those things than just sticking with what you're good at. Okay, while other photographers leave you behind. And as a reminder again, you look at my first wedding, paid wedding, 10 years ago. The only thing I was good at was tilting the camera for no good reason. All right, bad light, bad composition. Composition was okay, but minus the tilt. Yeah, right. Don't be afraid to suck. Get after it. I'll see you in the next video.